Hello, welcome to day 2, all about our abdominals. So we're going to start talking about abdominal separation, which is when the two sides of your abdominals separate, leaving a little bit of a gap in the middle. This is also called diastasis recti. You might have heard that term. So it is 100% in women who are full term, right? It is going to happen. But then the tricky part is how to bring our abdominals back together and how to strengthen them in a safe and effective way without doing more harm than good. So we are going to first check for abdominal separation and then do a couple safe exercises that you can start with. I'm going to give you 3 different steps of the same exercise. So I'll walk you through it when we're doing it, but feel free to stay at step number 1 if that is feeling challenging. If you feel like you have control over your abdominals, maybe you went into your pregnancy really strong, or maybe you're a little further along in your postpartum recovery, feel free to try step 2. If that's still feeling great, go ahead to step 3. So first of all, before we get started, I also just want to mention that one of the risks of abdominal separation is hernia or prolapse, right? So that's when you have some of your insides coming to the outside, which is something we don't want. So if you feel like you're at risk of this, if you feel any severe doming, any anything sticking out, honestly, then please do consult your healthcare professional, okay? This course is a great starting point for you. And as long as you are, having a safe pregnancy and recovery, I think it's great. I also think it's great to go see a pelvic floor specialist and a PT for women. They're more common now, and I think it's amazing. I will say that the good thing about seeing them is they're great for diagnosing, they're great for assessing where you are and giving you some great starter exercises, but you're still going to have to do the exercises, right? You still do have to put in the work, which is what I'm here for. So let's go ahead and check abdominal separation. So we're going to go ahead and lie down, feet on the ground, right underneath your knees, and your fingers are going to be pointing down towards your pelvis. So all you're going to do is take a nice big breath in, and as you exhale, lift your head slightly off the ground. It doesn't have to be a ton, keeping your chin a little bit away from your chest. And then with your fingers, we're going to start at the top, so right about at the base of your ribs. And you should notice the edges of your rectus abdominis. Those are the 6-pack muscles that go up and down. So see if you can find the edges and notice if there's a gap in the middle. If there is, gently press down and see how deep it is. Okay? So we measure it in fingers. So if you can get 1 finger in that gap, you've got a 1-fingered diastasis recti, 2 fingers, etc. But as well as width, we're also looking for depth. So the muscles underneath, the transverse abdominis, the deepest layer, if those are strong and active, you'll feel like a spring, kind of like a trampoline, like a springy feel, versus just like a, oh my gosh, I can go down forever into the abyss kind of feel. So notice where you are, and then go a little lower. So we're gonna go now right around our belly button, just above our belly button. And same thing, notice how wide it is, how many fingers, and notice the depth. Can you kind of feel some resistance there, or does it feel like you can go down forever? Right around our belly button is typically, not always, but typically where we're gonna have the largest diastasis. I don't know about you, but my neck's getting tired. Take a little break as you need. And then we're gonna do one more on the bottom. So kind of halfway between our belly button and our pubic bone, the same thing there. And notice, is there a gap there? So my fingers are still pointing down towards my pubic bone. And I'm just going side to side, noticing the edges of my abdominals. Okay, so a normal diastasis is a couple of fingers, meaning that if you have a couple fingers worth of width and you have some springiness underneath, you can't sink down forever, then you can strengthen your core in a safe rehab way. If you have more than that, that's not saying that you can't, but you have some work to do to bring the sides together. Okay? So we don't necessarily need to aim for 0 finger crack, right? You might end up like even me, I have still like a finger right around my belly button, but it's nice and solid when I press down. I can't sink down very far. All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with our first exercise. Now, we're going to use our breath. This is from video 1. We're going to use our breath as we move, and we're going to think about engaging our pelvic floor as well as our core. So I want you to start with your hands on either side of your ribs. Take a big breath in, feel your ribs expand. As you exhale, close the front of your ribs, pull your belly button down, lift your pelvic floor. So that same zipping up, and then we're going to slide our right foot forward as we exhale. Take a breath in here, and slide our foot back again as we exhale. All right, other side, inhale. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, squeeze your belly in. Use your hands to close the sides of your ribs. Slide your left foot forward. Take a breath in. And exhale, slide it back in. All right, so option to stay right here. If you feel like, yes, this is challenging, I am feeling like I can connect to my core, it's feeling good, stay right there. If you felt like, oh yeah, I've got this, this is so easy, then go ahead and bring your legs up to tabletop. Okay, same exact exercise, but we're gonna do toe taps. So we're gonna take a breath in, feel your ribs expand. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, pull your belly in, use your hands, close the sides of your belly, and tap your right toes. So it's a lot to do at once. And inhale back up to the center. So this is a little faster with our breath. Exhale, zip up, squeeze in, tap left toes, and inhale center. So notice my hands. I'm closing them like an elevator door like that every time I exhale to encourage those muscles to squeeze into the midline. Let's do a couple more rounds here, and then I'll give you one more add-on. Big breath in. Exhale, zip up, squeeze in, close that elevator door, tap right toes, and inhale back up to the center. Notice there's no gap here underneath my back, right? I'm not arched here and my hands can't go underneath. I'm pressing my low back into the floor the whole time. Big breath in, expand. Exhale, tap left. Squeeze into the midline. Use your hands, squeeze in. And inhale, center. And you should also feel this squeeze in and down feeling rather than this press out feeling, okay? We'll learn more about this in the do's and don'ts section tomorrow, but we do want to make sure anytime we're doing core exercise that there's this squeeze in and up feeling and not a press out feeling. All right, so if you feel the press out feeling at all, go back a level. So go back to the toe slides here. I'm going to give you one more option. So again, if you are feeling very strong through your abdominals, if you're further along in your postpartum recovery, otherwise feel free to do one of those first variations we did already. So starting again together, big breath in. This time as you exhale, you can keep your leg straight. So it just adds a little bit more weight for your core to bear. And inhale, come back up to the center. Okay, a couple more there. Exhale, squeeze in, zip up, left leg. Inhale, center. All right, so now you've tried a couple variations. Choose the one, and you can always go between them as well, right? So just to review, you've got your toe slides, you've got your toe taps, and you've got your straight extended leg. So we're going to do 3 more rounds, choosing whichever one. I'll do each of them again, just to kind of remind you. I'll do 1, 2, and 3. Stay wherever you want to in any of those 3 or change between them. All right, so all together, nice big breath in. Exhale, lift your pelvic floor, squeeze, close that elevator door, right toes forward, and inhale back up to the center. Exhale, left toes forward. Squeeze into the midline, zip it all in. Inhale, center. Option 2, exhale, squeeze in, squeeze in, squeeze in. Inhale, center. So it's using your hands as that feedback. One more, exhale, left. Inhale, center. And last round, exhale, going for the straight leg for me. Inhale, center. And last one, exhale, squeeze in all the way into that midline. Inhale, center. Nice. Feet down. And just rock your knees side to side a little. Notice how that felt for your core. Notice how it felt for your breathing, and feel free to practice this. Like, it's great to practice the pelvic floor exercise that we learned yesterday and these core exercises a couple times a week. It doesn't have to take a lot of time, but that consistency is going to be what is going to help you rehab. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.